Luke, let's start with the news of Geraldo Bajrami being out for the season. It must be gutting for you and for him.
Yeah, very, very disappointed for him. Um, he started the game so well, even just in the few minutes. I can tell by the way he was carrying himself. He looked so good, and very, very disappointing for him.
Yeah, I mean, do you or the owners feel as if there's probably need to strengthen in that position now?
Yeah, I would have thought so. We don't have the luxury of bringing players in throughout the entire season. We have a window, so yes, I think that it's very likely that we'll see somebody come in.
As for Saturday, it's going to be a great occasion. Obviously, first home game back in the Football League at Meadow Lane. Well over 10,000 people there. It must be something you're really looking forward to.
Yeah, we cannot wait, and we have a great connection with the fans at home, and we had the game, of course, on Tuesday night, but we played against a very, very strong team from a division above. I imagine we'll be in the playoffs in League One, so it was an extremely tough game, but to have a league game at home with all of our fans in full voice, we just cannot wait.
It's almost like a first game in a way. So you started away, then you're at home in the cup before the league. So does that help really just keep the optimism up?
Yeah, I think, of course, we have become very accustomed to winning, but I don't think anyone should be feeling anything other than optimistic. We had a tough first day. We've not tried to hide from that at all. And the Lincoln game, if you take that game in isolation, it's a very tall order for us to turn over a very strong League One side. We had, I think, in the Sutton game, 9 players on the pitch that had played in the National League the year before, and the year before that, and some of them for 2 seasons before that, or in the National North or in the National South. So, for those players to get straight immediately up to the level is a tall order, and you take the Lincoln game in isolation. I don't think it's terrible. I think there was a lot of very good performances on the pitch as well, and so the way you framed it is something I think is very sensible. You framed it in a way that it's our first game, and I don't think you're far off the mark with that one.
What's the feeling been like in training and around the club? Is there sort of excitement that the reward for last season is finally sort of here by being at home and having football again?
Oh, definitely. I think we are licking our wounds because we are not used to conceding goals at all, let alone 5 goals in a game. And so we've scored 1 goal in the 2 games as well. It's just something that we've just not been used to at all, and so we're all very hurt by that. But we're all very, very excited to be back at home and have our support behind us.
Obviously, you're not used to your team conceding lots of goals or not winning matches, and of course, there's only been 2 games, and one, as you said, is against the side sort of higher in the division. If you had to change anything in terms of how you train your players, things you show them, if you have to sort of change anything with the step up?
No, because until I can, we of course we try in pre-season. We've given them Premier League opposition, we've given them Championship opposition, League One opposition, but nothing can prepare you for the real thing, and I cannot give them that. I cannot give them that experience. They have to live the experience on the pitch, and so now it's about learning very quickly from those experiences and become competitive again, and that's our task now. And we're not made of sugar. We overcame many things. It appeared that at times, I think it appeared that we didn't overcome lots of difficulties because more often than not we had the same result, but we overcame many things, and this is our toughest challenge together to date, and we are not about to shirk away from it. And we have a brilliant opportunity now to show people more of our qualities, what we're really about, because we haven't been tested to this level yet.
We must have lots of team selection headaches for tomorrow as well. Obviously Aidan Stone's back available, but Sam Slotham's done well when he's come in. Do you go with the back three or back four, things like that? Are they all good problems to have?
Yeah, I think so. I like the fact that we can change the formation, because I think that the result, of course, was not the one we wanted on Tuesday night, but I thought that we looked an accomplished side for much of the game in a back four, and like I say, we're playing against very, very good players. I think Lincoln's strongest lineup as well, and they were excellent. They gave us a lot of problems, but I thought in the flow of the game we didn't look completely outclassed. I thought we held our own. Very difficult to assess the Sutton game because we only play a few minutes with all our players on the pitch, and even in those short minutes we conceded a goal, so it's very difficult to assess. But no, I'm happy that we have the ability to change formation, and we have options for players to change in and out.
That's all for me, thank you, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. Lots TV.
Hi there, Luke. So, is it important to bring in someone with EFL League experience into that defence position to make up for the loss of Bijrami on that long-term injury?
I think that would be my preference for sure. Would be somebody that comes in that's proven at the level, at least at this level, would be great. But I always trust the process, and the process brought us people like Macaulay Langstaff. So I have to trust the process again, and I'm sure that we will get the correct player, regardless of whether or not he's experienced more or less. I've got full confidence in the owners that they will find the correct player for us.
Grimsby, a very solid side. What can we expect from the game, and are you really looking at this as a 3-point, a must 3-point?
Well, I mean, I don't think the season's going to be decided on Saturday. There's a lot of football. I think when we start talking about must-win games at this stage is probably a bit much, but certainly we're going out to try and win the game. We expect it to be a very tough game against an established team with a very good manager that knows how to set his team up. So we're not expecting anything else other than a tough game, but we are also preparing and planning to try and win.
And Macaulay, we spoke to Macaulay earlier, he said he's looking to get his scoring tally open. How important can Macaulay play a role in kind of the journey this season for Notts County?
Well, of course he's gonna play a key role for us, but I think we also have to remember that Macaulay was playing in the National North 2 seasons ago, and he's jumped up to the National League to a big club. It's a lot of pressure for a young guy, and he passed that test immaculately, and in a very short space of time he's jumped up another division, and I've got no doubt that Macaulay will prove himself again. But we also have to try to take some pressure off of Macaulay. It can't be expected to only be a success if he scores 40 goals every season. So no, I've got no doubt in his quality, and I'm sure he's going to play a key role for us.
A tough first game in the league, but is focus being in training this week more on the defensive side of things, or is it just the same as usual, just to kind of focus on getting better as a unit and just taking it day by day?
Well, I mean, we looked at some very painful actions back in both the games that we've played so far, because we have not defended our goal in a manner that's we've become accustomed to. that is acceptable, and that's really very difficult. But I believe that's the only way, is to address the things head on, and now we have a chance to go and prove ourselves again.
Brilliant, that's all from me.
Thank you.
Up to you, Sam.
Hi Luke,
Hello, Sam.
obviously you might have played more important games during your role as Notts County manager, but do you feel this is probably one of the biggest psychological tests for your team, coming back from back-to-back defeats, which you didn't experience at all last season?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's they're all tests, but believe me, winning 12 out of 13 and only being a point clear at the top of the table when there's one team promoted in the league, I don't think there's more pressure than that, and that, as you know, continued the entire season right up until the second from last league game away at Maidstone. We had to win again to try to be in the chase to win the league, and it was only later on that night that Wrexham secured the title. So we then had a very short turnaround to prepare for the playoffs. So I think it's fair to say we've been through quite a lot. Because you win a lot doesn't mean that everything is easy and there's no pressure. Believe me, winning every week and not being able to pull away, particularly in a division where there's only one automatic space, I think try to imagine that pressure for a moment, and you realise that we're 3 games in, we've played 1 league game. So there's pressure on every game. We are prepared for that. Like I said, we're not made of sugar, and we have to step up to this level, and we have an opportunity, not a threat. We have an opportunity to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, and I asked Macaulay about this, do you read anything into, obviously, Grimsby being the first home opponents, giving maybe some of the recent history between the two teams? Obviously, you weren't manager at the time, but I'm sure Notts fans with memories of those games will be out for, as I said to Macaulay, out for revenge. So do you want your players to take any motivation from that? Maybe some that were here during that time?
I want them to take motivation from having over 10,000 supporters in the stadium at the best ground in the division, and try to live up to that. That's what I want them to do, and they've done that since I've been at this club. I was told that it's impossible for us to beat Torquay. It's impossible for us to win away at Aldershot. I've been told that we never beat this one or that one, and I didn't pay any attention to those things last season. And I'm not about to live in the past again. So we are playing a very, very good opponent, and we need to play very well and win the game that's in front of us, and not worry about who beat who in 2001 or something. I don't know. So no, thank you for that, but it's not something that we discuss. We know they're very good, and I think Sutton came up through the National League a few years before, and Grimsby came up a few years before. So there's teams that have been playing against each other in recent history for sure.